Hi everyone, it's Vickie Kello, your independent stamping up demonstrator. Happy Monday. Come on. Let's find me live. Hope everyone had a great week. Oh, my son's been playing this, so I need to turn that down. Leave a comment. Hi Megan, when you're on so I know who's on. Hi Lisa. It was amazing, Megan. Really enjoyed it. We sat in the rain and watched Tones and I, and then the rain stopped and then Pink came out, and yeah, so there was no rain for Pink. It was really good. Hi Jean. So tonight, ladies, we're going to be using this stamp set. So this, hi Christina. This is a level 2 celebration stamp set. So this is free with a qualifying order of $180. And I am going to use this tonight. Now, I have my water in case I end up having a coughing fit. But I think I've picked up something from the bus ride home from Pink. But I was fine on Saturday. I held my 2 classes. I was fine on Sunday. Hi Renee. Hi Glenda. It only started having a bit of a sore throat last night. So it's very frustrating. But anyway, so we're going to use this. Now the colours that I've got out are Soft Seafoam, Bubble Bath and Basic Grey. You could use a lighter grey. Hi Kerry. But I'm going with Basic Grey because it's the one that I had on my desk. And then I've cut and prepped some paper. So I went looking because I wanted some DSP. That kind of went with Bubble Bath. I haven't tested positive yet, Lisa. I just don't know whether it's a sore throat or what. But on the bus on the way home, there was heaps of people coughing and spluttering. So who knows? So I found some paper in this Hello Irresistible that is Soft Seafoam. And I'm using a couple of sheets out of that. So this this Hello Irresistible paper, I haven't got too much of this left. It's an online exclusive. I think it's the bus ride home, Kerry. I've picked up something. I was fine Saturday and things. So there's not too much of it left, but I've chosen the lighter pieces because I want a more subtle look on this card. It could also be from the Weather Megan. So that's the DSP we're using. I'm pretty sure that's still available online. I am using some retired ribbon tonight though, ladies, because I am a big believer in Shop Your Stash, and I have some Soft Seafoam ribbon that is in my retired ribbon, and I'm going to use that tonight. But you could use just a plain white ribbon or whatever, but I'm going to use some Soft Seafoam. And we are going to get started with this. So I've got quite a few blocks here, and we're going to stamp first. Using this big image. Yeah, I don't think it's asthma. And then I've got basic grey. Now, the good thing about the glass mat is if you don't have a scratch piece of paper, you can stamp directly onto it when you want to stamp off. So, and that's okay. But you've just got to be careful and remember that you've got stuff on here when you go to turn your paper over. And for sticking adhesive and stuff on there. Now I'm just trying to ink just the leaves there. Alright, wonder if you could do reverse image stamping on the glass mat. Maybe. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to get a baby wipe and clean that because I'm going to end up with a bright raw mess because we all know what I'm like. Okay, and that's how easy it is to clean up. Now the sentiments that we're going to be using are from Charming Sentiments. And I'm going to put there's quite a few on here. Super Fantastic Mega News. Nah. Beyond Grateful. I'm going to do a thank you. Hi, Janice. So I was supposed to start doing my swaps for Melbourne yesterday because I won't have a lot of time next weekend. But I just really didn't feel up to it. So I didn't do it. So I don't know whether I will have any swaps for Melbourne or not. So I'm going to stamp, and because this is a photopolymer stamp, we're stamping in basic with a pierce mat. Now I'm also going to stamp this soft sea foam onto the cardstock layering piece with just this little leaf bit. So this was one of the first techniques that I ever learned, was tone on tone stamping, and my first ink pad was a Versamark ink pad, because if you do Versamark on coloured ink, you don't need all the other ink colours. So I'll show you. I'll get the Versamark ink pad out. And do I have a scratch? Yes, I've got a scratch of soft sea foam. And if we stamp the same image, let's clean that stamp first though. Stamp it with Versamark onto soft sea foam. It's a lighter image. It works better on darker colour, but you can, I don't know whether you can see. it just gives a really soft, I don't know whether the camera's picking that up, a soft faint image on the coloured cardstock. So that's with Versamark, which is a lovely finish if you're just wanting to do like a background, a really subtle background, or that's with actually stamping soft seafoam. So that was the very first technique. If I do Lovely Lagoon, oh, lovely, Lost Lagoon, which is just some paper here that I'm got, because it's a bit darker, you might be able to see it a bit better. Stamp this into, yes, you can still get Versamark, Christina. Versamark is a really sticky ink. Here, see, you can see it much better here with the darker image. It's a really sticky ink, and this is what we use to heat emboss, because it stays sticky for a while and then the powder can stick on it so that it sticks there whilst it heats up. But on coloured cardstock, this works. But on, like, you can still see it on this one, but if you do it on white cardstock, you're not going to see it. It doesn't come up very well. But that is really cool. So essentially, if you have the Versamark ink pad, you have every colour. Well, you have every colour in brights, regals, and neutrals. You Highland Heather, Fresh Freesia, and Calypso Coral, I think it'll come out on. The others, oh, and maybe Balmy Blue. The others you'd struggle to see on the subtles, but it still works. So that's a cool tip if you don't have all the ink pads, which is a big investment when you're first starting out. Okay, so we've just added some detail around that. And then I've got this bit. I don't even think I'm going to colour that in. Do I want to colour that in? No, I don't want to colour that in. And then this is the Hello Irresistible paper. Now what I was going to do was get my sponge daubers and use one for, when we did the colour refresh, I ended up doing a whole new dauber for everything because my daubers were quite old. Where is Basic Grey? This one here, Basic Grey. And what I'm going to do is just ink around the edges. I struggle with vintage and tearing lines into perfectly good paper, but I don't mind adding a bit of dimension to cards like this using this technique. You can go a bit heavy-handed and end up with big splotches. Sometimes that adds to it, and other times I'm like, oh, I don't like that, and I'll start again. But just try it with an even hand. And it just adds a bit of something to the card. I'm going to do it to all the pieces because even tone on tone works. It's not as defined, but you can still see the difference. It especially makes a difference when you're cutting out like fussy cut images and you've got some white around images. Sometimes to get rid of that white, do it in like a, what have I got now, crumb cake or a pecan pie, just to give it a bit of that vintagey feel, or take off the stark white edges. So this is the stamp set that I used for my online class on Saturday, and I've kind of used the cards that we made as a like a sketch. And so I'll show you the card that we made in class, and then I'll show you this and how different it looks if you just change a few things like colours, the direction of the sketch, add a bit of DSP. Like, sketches are always there just as a guide, and then you can make it your own and change it up. All right, I'm gonna ink this last piece as well. So did everyone else have a good weekend? I had a great weekend. I had a new team member join my team, taking advantage of the Celebration sign-on deal, which we've only got till next week, until that finishes, which was lovely. Quiet one. I think sometimes they're the best ones, Kerry, especially when you've got a few things to do. Okay. It is exciting, Megan. I was super stoked. Okay, so we've got a card base here. And then now it's just a matter of layering the pieces together. I did know the person beforehand, Megan. I've not been lucky enough to have any randoms just join my team. I know a couple of people have, like that they just get people wanting to sign up out of the blue, and I'm out of. Oh, nice, Christina. Is that finished? No? But it's finished. I was going to say that finished really early, but maybe it's just... Oh, it's started to go back on itself. That's annoying. All right, if you've had one that goes back on itself, I just pull it off and keep going, and then I just keep pulling this tab. And it seems to work for me. It doesn't happen very often. Hi, Marie. Whoops. Everything's sticking to me. This one's not working after I said that. I've had to do that, but now I get a pencil and wind it along. It doesn't happen very often, but of course it's happening whilst I'm on video. I'm gonna ditch that and get one I prepared earlier. Okay, and then put that on the card base. And then put this on. So all my layers are 1/8 of an inch border. And then I think there's 1/2 inch between this and that. But I'm gonna pop that, because there's quite a few layers on this, I am still gonna pop it down just flat so the postie doesn't have a fit. Pop that on there. Now we've got some of this soft sea foam ribbon. We can do a bow. Oh, come on. Then get my ribbon scissors. Now you could colour the flowers if you wanted. In the class on, where's my glue dots? In the class on Saturday, we did colour with the Winker Stella and coloured the flowers. But I did note on Saturday that I'm like, I think these would look all right without the colours. Now the only gems that I've got that kind of look all right that are opened, I do have some rhinestones here sitting unopened, but I'm trying really hard to finish some of my open sets before I open new rhinestones. These ones, and I don't think they look too bad. One, two, three, four. My mat is not sitting straight. It's moving every time I do something. There we go. So that's our first card done. And if you look at the card we did in class, that is the card we did in class. So it's a different orientation, it's a different way. We've added DSP, this one's got no DSP. We added a bit of ink daubing and stuff just to vintage it up a little bit. Very different, but it's the same sketch layout. So that's that card done. Oh, thanks, Janice. Now with this card, I'm gonna bring sponging. Yeah, it does make it, that was a little on the fly thought process. Megan, I didn't think of doing that when I was designing before. Very different but the same. Yes, Kerry. So this is why I'm like, just because you've done that class doesn't mean that that's what you're limited to with that stamp set. If you've got that stamp set, or what I've been doing with a lot of my classes now is that I've used a floral stamp set, and you don't even have to use the detailed Dogwood stamp set. So I've changed my class structure a little bit that you can use any floral image that you've got, and you get the kit. So all you got was all the pink, white and grey bits and everything to make the card and the ribbon. And then you got a pack of the gems, but you had to stamp your floral image and then colour it in if you wanted to colour it. So there's one of the ladies that have done my class that she didn't have this Dogwood stamp set. So her images are going to look very different because she's just used a floral stamp set that she's got. And that's what I want to try and go. We've all got so many craft supplies that to me it doesn't really matter. What was I planning on doing with this one? Okay. It doesn't matter at all. So, I think all of these ones I'm going to sponge the edges because I really liked how effective that looked. All right. That goes like that. This goes with that at Suzanne. How old do I feel right now? And then we've got this little stamp set. Now, I don't have a big enough block right this minute, so I'm just going to hold it right. So we'll put that away. I do have blocks, I need that for the inking. I've just got 4 blocks out and none big enough for that stamp set. So this time our ink, so I like to try and do the sentiment first, or make sure that you leave room for the sentiment. Because now I've done those flowers together too much, too close. I can put that down there, but then there's a big gap there. Everything will be okay. Because you totally deserve it. Let's do that. So if anyone is local to me, on Friday, Park Ridge Domino's are donating $1 from every pizza sold, not mini pizzas, but every other pizza sold, to one of the families at school, because their dad passed away. And so there's 3 boys at the school, and the mum is a teacher aide at the school, and so they're doing like a GoFundMe page. But this Friday, so there's a GoFundMe page on my Facebook, but this Friday at Domino's Park Ridge, $1 from every pizza sold is being given to the GoFundMe page. I've got some marks, but given that this is looking a bit vintage, or trying to be a bit vintage, I'm not 100% really cranky with it, but I just need to get past it. But I am gonna ink the edges again for everything. Because I did like the effect of this. And I find sometimes I really like soft sea foam, but it's such a light colour that I find sometimes it gets washed out. Yeah, it is really nice. That looks like it should be there. Thanks, Kerry. So this dark grey border is kind of helping it, I don't know, stand out a bit and doesn't look so washed out. Because I've tried using it before as a card base, and I just end up changing it out for a pretty peacock or a darker colour, because it's just not enough oomph for me. So last week was a big week with me in Sydney for work, and then coming home and going to Pink was a very big week. But it was a good week. And I've just put the dates up for my March class. I don't know whether I've done the date for the March Sip and Stamp class. I might have. but because I am in Melbourne for on stage, the class is, the online class is Saturday the 22nd, 23rd of March. Whatever that Saturday is the online class. And the sip and stamp will be the Friday of that. And Celebration finishes next week. So if there's anything that you are still after as one of the free items, you'll need to get your orders in next week before the 29th. I'm going to close that. And then this one, going to put these together. Should that be, I think that needs to be cut down a little bit, and so then I'll need to re-ink it again. Let's measure that before I re-ink it and realize it's not enough. There we go. And I will be placing an order next week if anyone is interested in just grabbing a few things and want to combine postage with me. Oh, so let's stick, whoop, got bits sticking everywhere. This can go on that. I do like the grey border. And that will then have to go on this. Do you have a grey marker? You could splatter on the white piece. Do I have a grey marker? Yes, I do. Where is that? Oh. Basic grey. That's a great idea, Megan. Another little tip. Right. So with these water-based markers, which you can get a set of these as a free celebration item, won't be the grey one, but you can get a set. They come with a brush tip end and then a marker pen, so you can write in cards. So you can write in the same colour ink as your cardstock. But the brush tip end, if you use, I'm going to try not to get it everywhere. If you use your lid, you can flick, and so the more you flick, the more bits you get. And I don't know how well that's showing up, but it just takes some of that stark white away as well. Nice idea, Megan. Thank you. I don't use that very often. Because I struggle to be able to control that, so I like the stamps that actually have like the blotches in them so that I can create and control them myself, which is what I tend to use a little bit more than the markers. So this can only be done with the water-based markers. You do not want to be doing it with your alcohol markers. You will ruin the tips. So yeah, don't do it with your alcohol markers. These are only for water-based inks. Because you spend enough on those alcohol markers, you don't want to be ruining the tip by trying to do this. Oh, nice, Megan. I haven't got them. The Celebration. I've got most of the colours anyway. The only colour I don't have... Actually, I've got all the markers. I don't have the re-inkers for the new ink colours. I haven't done them yet. So I'm going to add a ribbon because I always love a ribbon. So for those that have joined late, I know this ribbon has retired, but you can use just plain white ribbon, but I am using what's in my stash and wanted to use soft seafoam ribbon with my soft seafoam cardstock. It's a great way to do it, Megan. Especially if nothing else interests you with the other freebie items. Now, I'm going to pop that there. Then we're using these gems because we're using up what we have before I open a new set. They're the updated, so last week they came out with some new Celebration items, Kerry, like a second release, and it's of current stuff that's in the catalogue. If you are placing another order and I'm struggling to stick this somewhere. Okay, I try and do things in triangles, but I really stuffed that up. Okay, so this was this card. And then, yeah, there are some cool kits. I haven't printed off the fly. I need to buy more ink for my printer. And this was the card that we did in the class on Saturday. So again, I've changed the orientation of the card. I've added a piece of DSP. And yeah, so that's cool with that one. Placed one over the weekend but didn't see them. Oh no, Kerry. All right, so then we've got this last card. Thanks, ladies. We are going to clean this off. In the $180 section. That may be why you didn't see them, Kerry. I don't know how big your order was. That's still worth it though, because it's a big they're a big set. The oh, lucky I didn't stick that on there. That's a high value item. Right, so we're going to clean that. And then this one. We're going to use the crosshatch. When I do my classes, I do try and use most of the stamp sets, if I'm using a stamp set, at least once. Show you different ways of using it. Okay. I'll be having a little latte next week when my order arrives. I haven't even had a chance to look at it. I did see, because for those that are demos, there's pre-order out at the moment for some new paper and stuff. But I haven't even had a chance to really look at it yet. So this one, we are going to, I'm gonna use this leaf image again. Just to give it a bit of something, something. There. I've got the flowering zinnias pack. Oh, nice, Janice. I looked at that. When I was helping my new team member put an order in, it flashed up and we're like, oh, look at that, because it was so bright. I haven't seen a lot of it, so we're going to pop that to the side. Then this one, we are going to stamp this image. Oh, and I usually try and stamp my sentiment first. To make sure that I've got enough room and not too much gap. That one's really pretty too. I went and got some real zinnias after seeing that. Nice. Did we all have a good Valentine's Day? My husband and I don't usually celebrate Valentine's Day, but I came home to a nice little surprise because that's the night I came home from Sydney. And he had ordered a little delivery of something, like chocolates and donuts and things, because he knows that I'm not the biggest fan of flowers, because flowers die and then I have to clean them up, and we know that that's not me. So I much prefer chocolates because I get enjoyment out of that and don't actually have to have clean up or do anything. Right, so the sentiment that we're going to use for this one is Just For You, I think, because it's a nice little one. Where is it? Just For You. Yes, it was very sweet of him. I had organised like a little teddy bear rose thing for him and a little teddy bear for Hunter. I'd organised it on the weekend and I stuck it in the room here. So I didn't have to, because usually when I go away, I buy Hunter something. But I'm like, I don't really want to have to buy him anything while I'm away because everything's going to be twice the price because it's Valentine's Day. So I organised it before I left and left it in the room here. But yeah, I was not expecting to come home to anything. So as soon as I walked in the door, Hunter's like, you have to open this, Mum. I'm like, what is this? He goes, you just have to open it. It got delivered today for you. So that was lovely. And I made it home just in time to share a donut with Hunter, and then he went to bed and I had a shower, and not long after went to bed myself. And because the time difference, I didn't even get a phone call in the morning because I was in meetings from 7:30 my time, so Sydney time, which was 6:30 Adrian's time. So he's like, don't ring me, I'm having a sleep in, I'm not getting up too early, because Tuesday mornings are very early for us now because Hunter has swimming with squad. So we have to get up at 5 o'clock and be at the pool at 6:20. and then Hunter swims for an hour and a half. Quickly has breakfast, so we take turns in the squad mums bringing breakfast. My turn is next Thursday, or like this Thursday. Quickly get dressed and scoff down breakfast and then race to school and be dropped off at school before 8:25. And then come back. And then I need to pick him up at 4 o'clock on Tuesdays. I don't usually finish work till 4 to then do gymnastics. So Tuesdays are a very big day because he swims for an hour and a half, goes to school all day, and then has gymnastics for an hour and a half. He must be tired at school on those days, yes. What do you need to organise for lunches? Oh, we packed the lunch the night before. Oh, for breakfast. So we do, I've been watching what other people bring. So one mum made cheese toasties. They were a big hit. Hunter wants me to make them. I'm like, nah, that's too much effort. I can't do that. Most mums will bring, or dads, but mainly I see mums, bring like juice, pancakes, fruit, yogurt. Last week it was pikelets, a thing of Nutella, fruit, and then a thing of chocolate milk and a thing of strawberry milk. That went down a hit. The muffins, I was just going to buy the mini muffins, but most of these swimmers are teenagers. Like they all have, because that's all Hunter has is those mini muffins. But these teenagers, they have those big muffins and they have 1 or 2. So I was thinking when I went shopping the other day, Hunter really likes when Dad makes quiche. So when Adrian makes quiche, and it's more like a zucchini slice. So I was thinking not this week, but maybe next rotation, we'll be organised and do a big zucchini slice and make that up. I think that might be a big hit. But yeah, something quick and easy that the kids can kind of eat on the run, really, because they're getting dressed and eating, and then some are taking it in the car to eat with them because they're a bit slow at eating. So I could have done the border a bit bigger for this paper because you can't really tell that it's DSP behind there and not just cardstock, but I did use DSP, but with the shading you can't really tell as much. That goes on there, I think, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, and then so Tuesday night dinner, because Adrian's in town on Tuesdays, so that's okay, because I usually go to town on Thursdays, and so Adrian has to do it on Thursdays by himself. But Tuesday night dinner, I did use the dragonfly curry because I really liked it. I just put something in like the slow cooker because I'm not home. Adrian's coming home from the office. It's just too hard. Thankfully, squad finishes 7th of March, I think. So we've only got a few more weeks. I'm going to put this one on an angle. Just for a bit of interest. Then this one goes, well, got the ribbon there. This one goes square to the card. Could do those splotches again. Should I put the splotches on the first card too? I might. I really like that splotch idea. Megan. I like it, I like it, I like it. You can't see much green on this card. Remember years ago when I was writing blog posts, I had a blog post that was "Splotches is my new best friend," because I was doing them on everything. But it's been a long time since I've done splotches. All right, so yes, I do like splotches. You have to be okay with mess, and like it might not end up how you see. That's what I struggle with a little bit. But once you get past that, it's okay. And that's why I usually use the like splotch stamps in certain sets so that you can control it a bit better. But they're always a bit bigger than this thing too. All right, so we're gonna stick some bling on. There we go. So, those that didn't do the class, this is what the class card looked like. So this is the closest one that we've kind of copied, but it still looks very different with the different colors. So I'm going to bring back all the cards and you can remove them. See the difference between the class and these cards by changing the colors, the layout. You've got completely different cards. So thank you everyone for joining. I hope you enjoyed the class and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye.